Good evening and welcome to Information Please, your Peoria Public Library on the air, bringing you information about your library and your community. And this evening my guest is Cynthia Smith, who's from Lincoln Branch and part of the group that's putting on our Juneteenth celebration. Hi Cynthia.
Hi.
I know you're busy planning so many things, so thanks for coming.
Oh, you're welcome.
I really like this holiday, Juneteenth, because I think that it really brings some awareness, things people just don't know about. We don't live in Texas. Texas is the big center of celebrations for Juneteenth, so I think it's really cool that we can bring a little bit of it right here to Peoria. So
absolutely.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of Juneteenth?
Well, Juneteenth, actually it's from Texas, as you said earlier, and it's a celebration of ending slavery. And Texas was the last state to declare freedom for all, freedom for the slaves. And so it happened in June. And it happened on the 19th. So the two words go together. So it's Juneteenth celebration. So it's something that I think a lot of us know, and then there's quite a few of us that aren't aware about this. It's not a holiday, but it is a celebration.
Right, and in Illinois, it's officially recognized.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we're happy about that, and we just want to get the word out and actually let people know exactly what Juneteenth is and ways to celebrate it.
Yeah, and we've got up here on our TV screen a cool historic photo from 1900 from one of the early official Juneteenth celebrations.
Don't they look fancy?
Yeah, they're dressed up in their best. And you and I were talking before the show. I don't have the history of this photo, but I'm pretty sure that these folks started life as slaves.
I'm sure.
And when people too many people don't know the fine details of history like the Civil War, and they don't realize no cell phone, you can't text about the Emancipation Proclamation. It took a long time for word of the Emancipation Proclamation to reach the slaves in Texas.
Yes, it did.
And when it did, they celebrated every year until, the point where there was a lot more civil rights and more recognition. So 1900.
I know. Isn't that something, though? That they had to wait, because after President Lincoln declared freedom for the slaves, it was like 2-3 years later before Texans had gotten the message, but more so enforced it. So the Union soldiers had to go and basically enforce, hey, that all slaves are free, including these ones in Texas, and therefore the celebration occurred.
And you know what, Cynthia? I had a great-grandfather who went to the Red River in Texas right about that time.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm pretty proud of my ancestors.
Oh, absolutely.
And what they did.
Absolutely. So yes, it's just a celebration that we hope to get out there and hope people will come to the Lincoln Branch Library. We're going to do it early this year. It's not in a teen. We're doing it June 6th. And hopefully it'll spread, and maybe on the 19th. Families and other organizations can come up with ways to celebrate it, because basically what they did was they did dress up in their best.
Yes.
They did bring food from, all sorts, smothered chicken, potato salad, and then it was always something red. So they did cake, and I can't think of the name of the cake now. But
Red velvet?
Red velvet. There you go. Red velvet cake, and it was something like punch or something that's red to represent the flow of the blood. But it was always a happy celebration, a gathering of everyone. They gathered and they didn't even know each other. And they started to find out who they were, who they were amongst. And it was a celebration to be had, and they did that.
Yes, and what a wonderful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're trying to...
As the library, it's our job to help people, make resources available to help people learn. So we throw these kind of parties hoping to spark a little interest that people want to read more and learn more on their own.
Absolutely.
And we, of course, can direct them to those resources.
That we can do.
Yes, yes.
And, it's just, because even when I was going through school, I didn't know really about Juneteenth.
Yeah.
It's not in the history books, at least when I was going, it wasn't in the history books. And therefore, sometimes you have to search that yourself.
Yeah.
Want to know more about what happened in the world. And if we, as librarians, can bring it out and just let people know these are some things that did go on and this is how it was celebrated. So Juneteenth is known around the world. Especially in the United States, and there's a lot of states that do capitalize on the celebration of Juneteenth. Yeah.
I think there's a few states like Texas where it's actually an official state holiday.
Yes, it is. And actually, Texas was the first state to incorporate Juneteenth. The last state to free slaves, but the first state to incorporate the celebration of it.
Well, that's a little bit of redemption for
yes,
them
it
anyway.
is.
Anyway.
Yes, it is.
So what are you going to do at your celebration at
Well,
Lincoln?
we're going to have a fun time, and we're going to celebrate it, and we're going to have red velvet cake there for sure.
Ooh.
But we're also going to bring like poets in, and we're going to have African dancers from St. Louis that are going to come in as well.
Wow, very cool.
And the poet, we've had poetry in the Lincoln branch before.
Yes.
And one of our mentors from our computer classes, Brandon Thornton, he is worldly known for poetry. So he travels all across the United States doing poetry, and he's also a math teacher, and he lives in Peoria. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And what he does, he helps us to bring these poets together. He's also involved with the African dance troupe that's coming. And we're going to celebrate and talk more about the history of Juneteenth and let those who are coming know this is why we're doing this program, just to get the word out. And hopefully they will pick up a book and research a little bit more, and then maybe have celebrations in their own backyard.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even get on the computer and use our databases because we have those great history databases, and you can get to those from home.
Yeah.
You don't need to come into the library to use them. You just need your library card and your PIN number.
Right.
And if people, I always like to say this because you can't say it enough. If you don't have a PIN number, then sign up for one at the library, or you can. There's things on our website, forgot my PIN, if you've forgotten what it is. If you've gotten a library card anytime recently, you will have a PIN number.
Right.
But if you just have a really old one, you might not.
Yeah, the library is open 24/7 with the computers, with the our website. So
exactly, and I don't think
no
people,
excuse.
Yeah, we have such in-depth databases on there to look up history, and it'll even be by era. So, and I'll bet you that the news people will probably have what's called special reports in the news sections, and there's probably going to be a special report on Juneteenth.
Oh, well, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
We want to spread the word out, and hopefully, and then we'll have a display of books as well on June 6th, the day of
and this is for all ages and open to everyone?
It's for all ages. It's open to everyone. We've had standing room only. We've done this. We did it last year, and it was such a wonderful turnout. The poets were absolutely fantastic. They actually did. They worded very well, and it's very clever on how they come out and do the poetry, and it makes you think, and that's just a wonderful thing. And then it draws up conversation.
Yeah.
And then that leads to picking up a book and seeing what more can we learn about Juneteenth. So it's a fun thing to do. It's going back in history, so we're getting a little bit more history, and we're using the library. So
all together good things.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Well, there's so much going on. It's summer reading.
Yeah.
And,
summer reading.
Yes, summer reading, and June 6th falls in that first week.
Yes.
So it's time to really be busy logging in, reading, and
we're excited. We're always excited when it comes time to summer reading. So June 2nd is when it officially kicks off. But you can sign up today at any location.
Yep.
So we're happy about that. But we're really excited about this year. At Lincoln Branch, I always have to say this, we have the bikes.
Yeah.
So
Lincoln Branch is a special place for summer reading because if you're a Lincoln Branch reader,
Yeah.
you have a chance at something
You
special.
have a chance by participating in our summer reading program.
Yes.
So you have to read those 7 weeks and participate each week. Your name goes into the drawing for bikes. It's age appropriate for each child. We have pre-K to high school bikes to give away. So, you know, hopefully that'll be an extra incentive to get our kids to just read over the summer.
Right.
We've had the pleasure of going into some schools and talking a little bit more about it, and you're trying to get the word out about summer reading. And yeah, we know it's summer, and we're ready to get from out of the buildings and into the sunshine.
You can read a book in the sunshine.
Right, that's what I say. I
and you
love
can
the
read
summer.
whatever you want.
And that's what the great thing about this is, because that's what the kids were saying. Can we read other things? And I'm like, absolutely. You have a favorite magazine, or you just want to keep up with what's going on in the daily world? Pick up a newspaper. I'm like, and sure, books, are a favorite thing if you have a favorite author. So we put it out there, a little bit of everything. As long as you're reading, we can calculate that. And it's 3 hours per week. You come and you sign off that you've read your 3 hours per week, and your name goes into the drawing for bikes. But also, you also will get a zoo pass, and you'll get a Chiefs ticket to a baseball game.
You only have to read 4 weeks, and you earn your Chiefs ticket. It's
Right.
a voucher, so you
Right.
can take your voucher with your friends, and you can all go get your tickets together to go at the same time. You get your choice of games. And
Right.
then, of course, the zoo pass is for our big party.
Right.
And we changed it so it's not just a couple hours on a weeknight. It's all day long at the zoo.
Now, isn't that wonderful?
It is.
So I think
and adults who are reading, if you don't want to go to the zoo, you get to go to the conservatory, or you can do both. Go to the zoo and the conservatory.
I think it's great. We encourage
and
families.
you get treats.
Yeah. So we encourage families to sign up together. So, everyone
everybody
could do it as a family outing.
And then even if you still can't make it to the party, you still get entered in the grand prize drawing, which was a new thing we didn't used to do. Used to be, you read all summer, you were on vacation, you couldn't come to the party, you didn't have a chance at the grand prize.
Yeah.
But now you do.
Yeah.
If you do your reading, you read 6 or 7 weeks, you still get a chance. So if you're a reader at Lincoln, you get all that plus a chance at the bikes.
Absolutely.
The extra
we have
special
fun with that.
place.
It's really fun. It's kind of neat to see the enthusiasm of the
Oh,
kids
yeah.
when they see the bikes, and what do I have to do? And I'm like, all you gotta do is read, and
Yeah.
let's sign up. So it's a fun thing. Kids are pulling parents in, and that's a good thing. So
It is.
we're excited about that, and they're signing up for library cards. So we're ready. We're ready to go, as all the other locations. To have a good time with summer reading.
Yeah. There's so much going on, and we've had other shows where we've talked about other things like the summer reading kickoff and the traveling passport and all the cool things we're going to do all summer long. But you can always catch repeats of this show on YouTube and find out about that, or go to our website or read one of our newsletters.
Yeah.
So it's all out there. Or
It
just
is.
talk to a librarian. And
That's
find out.
right.
The librarians know.
That's right. That's right.
But what else do you have going on? There's so much at Lincoln all the time.
We
What else
really
you have
do.
going on?
We really do. Another thing that we've added on is the Silent Teen Book Club read.
Oh.
And we're really excited about that. We've sort of tested the waters on it. And that program is going to, I think, be very successful. And what it is not the typical book club. So kids can, what they do is we have set times, and we go into a room, and I may read a short story, a very short story, or we'll read it together silently. And it's all silent. That's the fun part about it. Some kids are shy and don't want to speak up, but they have great thoughts, and they can put them and write them on paper. So that's what we do. We have one wide sheet that covers the whole table. We have different colored markers, and the kids actually put, how they felt about that story, or what were some of the rewards that they felt that the story had, or just learning experiences from how they could relate to the story. And they write it all out. And, at first I thought, I'll see how this is going to go. But it actually has done really well. And the kids absolutely enjoy doing that. So we're going to put it out there for the public and see exactly if they would like to be, participating in the
Sounds
Silent
great.
Teen Book Club.
I know
it's a
for
great
the
thing.
little kids, they have Pause to Read, where some of the kids who are really shy, they get them to read by reading to dogs who are totally non-judgmental.
Right.
The dogs don't care. We used to have a book at home called 3 Stories You Can Read to Your Dog, and my kids just love to read that, but that's an official program now. So this sounds like a great thing because there's a limited number of dogs, but this way, and to use color and to be able to
you know,
almost do art with words while
exactly.
you're covering the table.
It's a clear canvas, and their thoughts go into what was just read to them or what we read together. And sometimes we do read out loud. Sometimes we don't read the whole section of what we're doing, and then the rest we'll just read to ourselves. But, you know, the kids are like, well, I want you to read what I wrote. You know, and I'm right there reading, and you know, and I'm like, oh, this is, you really got this, you really understood, you know, what was being, you know, what was read to you or you read, and so it's a wonderful thing. So they're really expressing themselves in that format, and I think it's a good one. You know, the kids seem to really like it. No one's judgmental.
Yeah,
you know.
it's a place that's safe.
Exactly.
Because those teen years are so scary.
It really
People are
is.
even judgmental about what you're reading in the
Right.
first place.
Absolutely.
Much less what you're thinking about what you read, or if you're the person who spoke up in class. So sounds like a wonderful, safe way to get kids
It is. So
reading.
We're going to jump it off this summer. I was doing it twice a week on Monday and Fridays. I think I'll stick to that and just, you know, open it up and just let people come in, and we'll have things already ready to go. One of the other things that we do for this is we give free time into the library where kids can actually pick out magazines or pick out books, and we'll collectively together decide, okay, well, we'll read this, or we'll read this chapter, or we'll read this magazine article. And, you know, and it's not, you know, no one knows who picked it out. Everyone just brings
it's
those.
not judgmental.
Exactly. And then also, so it's a great thing, you know.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Well, and I know that's the way so many of our book clubs work, but in a much more formal way, where usually as you get into the fall, the book clubs a lot of times are asking their members for suggestions, and then the members vote on what they want to read for the next year.
Right.
But this is kind of a mini version of that.
Absolutely.
And it incorporates what people's interests are, so that's really cool.
Oh, yeah, because, you know, teens like to.
Yeah.
This is a society where they just want to get it,
Get it and go.
Right.
Well, that's part of it, is you
And
got to change the way you
technology.
do it, because
Absolutely.
everybody's used to the 2-second.
Absolutely.
You know.
So
Yeah,
it's
because now we have
thing.
6-second videos on Vine, of course.
Right. So it seems to be working out well, and we're excited. We're very excited to launch that.
Good.
Yeah.
But you also have programs you've had for a while that are funded through our Secretary of State, and
yeah.
so that's revving up again for summer, and that's such a great anchor for kids. So tell us a little bit about some of those great things that go on at Lincoln.
Okay, well, it's a computer class, and it's called Project Next Generation, PNG for short. And what these kids do, or they're learning technology in all formats, dealing with the computer. And it's a great thing. I have 3 mentors in place who are excellent, and they teach these kids the basics to graphic design, to engineering things on the computer.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun for them that sometimes we don't think that they really realize what they've just done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just a great program. We've been doing it for 10 years now. So we've done a little bit of everything with the computers for them to learn different things with it. But we even take it a step further, as far as I'm concerned. As a mom, you know, our program is from 5 to 7 on Monday and Tuesday. So I think in the mom realm of, okay, if my kid's going to be at the library till 7 o'clock and it's on a school night and we have homework to do. So what we've done, we've tweaked it a little bit where they have to have that homework done before they can get on the computers. So you have these 3 wonderful mentors. I have a math teacher, a communication specialist, and a graphic design major who can also help with homework, make sure these kids are on the right path to that, and then we go into the computer
And do
lab,
that.
and then we'll start the graphic designs or communications, what they do with the media, and how do we communicate now, you know. And so there's different aspects that they have to study, they have to research it on the computer, and then they have to do a mock-up. So
cool.
it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps that we do.
Well, they're
with them.
learning the planning,
Absolutely.
almost project management.
Absolutely, and then they have to present it. So, of course, once again, there are kids that are shy, and you know, so we started with them being in teams, so that if one team doesn't want to speak up, maybe there's another one in that group that
does.
will, to where they're all comfortable with getting up in front of their peers and speaking. And we've gotten great feedbacks from the parents with that. We've seen report cards. So we're very pleased with that program.
Oh, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. And over the summer, you also offer things like reading maintenance, don't you?
We do. So if there's a child that needs help with reading and math, that we're diving into that, and we're helping the parents out as well as the students. So if there's a need and you have a need in the family, then just give us a call at Lincoln Branch Library, and we have slots slated for that. So give us a call. We're doing, you know, fun things, but also we're making sure that the kids stay where they should be over the summer.
Right.
We want them to keep it, not lose it, what they've learned.
Yes, and
Yeah.
and I know the statistic is you can lose over just the period of summer vacation, you can lose 2 grade levels in reading and math abilities
Oh, isn't
if
that?
you're not doing this. And so it's the thing where things go from your short-term memory to long-term memory, and the problem is if a child is learning something and it's in that short-term memory phase and you haven't worked with it enough to get it to long-term memory, that's when they lose it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why just any kind of reading, anything to keep that part of the brain going
Oh, yeah.
and keep it there is what matters.
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, we're hoping that we help out. That has been successful. So we're happy to do that. And then we're also doing what we call flashlight word search.
Oh,
So we go into a room, we turn off all the lights, and the kids have to we have the little flashlights for them, and they do word search. So not only that, we're making sure they get the word search. You know how the spelling is in there. They're still reading at the same time, and they have so much fun with that. That, you know, so it just we have fun at the library. So the library, you know, yes, we do study. We do take it very seriously, but we also like to have fun, and you're still learning at the same time.
well, it's important, and I think people are much more accepting of this than they were years ago, that people learn in different ways.
Absolutely.
And the child who's, you know, been in a classroom where it didn't quite hit on the thing that would help them understand the information at the library can do even more ways of learning and learning on their own. Sometimes people just need to be guided a little bit, and and when they're not being forced, they will take off and learn things on their own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a fun way.
Yeah. But we also start with the little bitty ones, and I know all of our branches have baby story times, but you've got somebody special. You have puppet shows.
Yeah.
And nobody else has puppet shows.
You know, I think we have really actors at the Lincoln Branch Library.
You have an acting troupe.
Right. Everybody wants to get in on those puppet shows. So we think it's just funny. But my children's librarian, Mary, who does a fantastic job. She loves to do puppet shows, and the kids actually really enjoy that. So she will do a puppet show. She'll do a one-man puppet show, and it's just fantastic. And you know, we step out the room because we don't want to laugh.
Yeah.
You know.
But the thing is, Mary's so quiet in person. You know, it's like the inner Mary comes out in those puppets.
Exactly.
But it makes the
Exactly.
library a place kids want to go and want to be. And if you can establish that really early in life, then they'll keep coming back when they get at the point where it's not cool.
Right. Well, the puppet shows are fun, and it's just Mary comes up with these different ideas. She gets them from books or from what's going on inside her brain.
We're not sure what that is.
Right. And she has a lot of fun with it, and the families just love it. So we're glad that she's there and doing the puppet shows. We have a lot of fun with that, and sometimes we do brainstorm. You know, what puppet show are we going to present this time? You know, and Mary's right there. So the puppet shows are fun. So hopefully, you know, they can pick up a kid events letter and come on down.
Come on down. Yeah. And it's I think people who have a bad impression of the city in general, that I won't go downtown folks, maybe don't venture to Lincoln Branch, but they're really missing a treat.
They really are.
Because it is an architectural gem. Anybody who's interested in architecture history has got to come down to Lincoln Branch. And then we've got the beautiful new modern addition and so many exciting things going on inside, and such a great variety of materials and things to see and do.
Yeah, it's a beautiful building.
It is.
It really is, and it has so much history. And with the Carnegie, and you know, and we do have patrons that walk through the door and go, "Wow."
Yeah.
And we say that every day.
Yeah.
Wow, we're working in this great building.
Yes, I was just at Lincoln for the first time in a little bit. Of course, I was there a lot during the construction.
Yeah.
But walked in and once again was just, you know, kind of blown away by what a fabulous resource that is, and blown away by what a huge variety of people were there doing so many different things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, people on the computer, people sitting and reading, people doing research, people just browsing.
Right, or they bring their laptops in.
Using the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a little bit of everything, and with the story times that we have throughout the day, it's very interesting, and it's fun to see them actually utilizing our facility. It's a great thing.
Yeah, young and old, and every walk of life is there. It's a great place.
Absolutely. We have fun there, and hopefully, you know, they'll get in on some of the programs.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Well, Cynthia, thank you so much for coming. It was great to have you on again.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed
you.
it. Yes.
Well, everybody, all the great programs that are going on at Lincoln are listed on our website, or you can get our Passages newsletter. If you don't get it, go to our website and sign up to get the e-news. Just scroll to the bottom of the page. It's real easy to sign up, and it'll come to you every month. You can pick up kid events if you just want events for your kids, or ask our staff. You can call. They'll tell you what's going on. But with summer reading in full swing and Juneteenth, where there's a lot to celebrate this summer at Lincoln Branch and all our locations. See you next week on Information Please.